Aaron Rodgers has officially signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And boy, is this going to get interesting. Okay. So, Aaron Rodgers signs with the Steelers after stringing them along to a certain degree. We had no idea um, where he was going to go for a while, but we also had no idea if he was going to actually ink this contract with Pittsburgh in the end because things were just taking way too long. But he did end up inking the contract with Pittsburgh, and Aaron Rodgers is officially a Steeler. It was reported today. A lot of people are ready to pile on Aaron Rodgers. They look at what he did with the Jets last year with what was seemingly a loading team, and he came up short. They are looking at him aging, his arm strength being diminished, him not having the mobility he once had, his torn Achilles, and there are reasons to not believe in this signing. And also the fact that Aaron Rodgers is just one of the most annoying people in all of pro football. He's a diva. He thinks highly of himself. He thinks he's way smarter than everybody else, and he throws his teammates under the bus and always has. So all of that is reasons to not believe in the signing. I'm going to tell you why this signing is actually worth believing in. Okay, and it's not common to say what I'm going to say, but I am going to say it. Aaron Rodgers signing is fully worth believing in because there were some factors with Pittsburgh that weren't there with New York. Now, there's one factor that's similar. That one factor is he's still sticking with the same offensive philosophy that he wanted in New York and that he had when he won his last 2 MVPs in Green Bay. And that is he's playing for Arthur Smith. For those who don't know, Arthur Smith is not going to be a big departure from Nathaniel Hackett. Nathaniel Hackett was the offensive coordinator for Matt LaFleur in Green Bay. He was Aaron Rodgers' offensive coordinator last year with the Jets. Nathaniel Hackett coming from the Matt LaFleur coaching tree means Arthur Smith, the Steelers' offensive coordinator, is going to have a similar philosophy. Why? Arthur Smith succeeded Matt LaFleur as offensive coordinator for the Titans back in the day. Arthur Smith knows what it takes to have a quarterback that is accurate, that has some athleticism, a minimal amount, and is playing for a running team. Arthur Smith was the brains and the genius behind the success that the Titans had with Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill. Aaron Rodgers still at 40 is a better version of Ryan Tannehill, guys. So I don't think it's crazy to think that Aaron Rodgers can't be successful in this. Aaron Rodgers last year threw for 38, 97 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. That was coming off an Achilles tear. And for the record, an Achilles tear takes more than a year to fully recover from, particularly in the NFL most of the time. So you actually should expect a much bigger leap this year. I think the Jets overreacted by not wanting to re-sign him, honestly. Also, if you look at Aaron Rodgers, the biggest issue that was facing him is he always held the ball too long back in the early days trying to make a play. That changed last year. He got rid of the ball within 2.69 seconds, which is tied for 6th in an NFL release. He understands that he can't have and utilize the mobility he once did. He had to adjust a little bit last year while also coming back from injury. The combination of those two things could have had a huge impact on why he had a decline that he may not see this year. He also just didn't have the same help. We got to ask the question, were the Jets just overrated? I mean, they were 2-14, 4-13, and 7-10 before he got there. They signed a lot of aging talent. Their defense actually took a step back, went from giving up on average 4.5 yards a play in 2023 to 5 yards a play in 2024. Now, you may look at Aaron Rodgers last year with the Packers in 2022 and say, well, obviously he's mediocre. Look at that. But also, let's not forget, Devontae Adams had left the team that year. Aaron Rodgers took a contract worth $50 million, and they had a whole new crop of receivers. And Aaron Rodgers spent the whole year working with the receivers to try to get better, which took much longer than he probably wanted it to take. So when you factor all those things into account, maybe Aaron Rodgers was not so much the problem in New York. And again, I find Aaron Rodgers annoying. I've always felt that when he was in Green Bay, he got a pass that no other quarterbacks would get. But I think we're not being totally fair to him on everything on this. And the Steelers at 10-7 last year have a lot of potential this year, particularly with their young offensive linemen. I think they're better with Aaron Rodgers over Russell Wilson or Justin Fields. I'll tell you that much. So when you take all that into account, you have to think about the fact that, yeah, no, I think the Steelers are going to be really, really, really good with Aaron Rodgers. I think this is a really, really, really effective signing. We are really overreacting to the issues Aaron Rodgers had last year when he was in with the Jets. Okay. The Jets make everybody bad. In case you guys forgot, now it's a different type of story, but Brett Favre did tear a bicep with the Jets, and that's how they missed the playoffs in 2008. And then he went to the Vikings and had the best season of his career in 2009. Now, Brett Favre's arm strength was gone by that point. He had the benefit of Adrian Peterson being the best rusher in the NFL and playing in Brad Childress' offense, which is very effective for what he wanted to do, and was able to make a lot of, scheme a lot of easy throws for Brett Favre. At the same time, you have to give credit to the fact that if you're in the right system, you can improve as an older quarterback. And I think Aaron Rodgers is in a much better system this year. I do. I think he's in a much better situation. I think Pittsburgh will have a better offensive line, a better running game. The offensive coordinator, the offensive coaching is where it needs to be with Arthur Smith there. Again, I don't think Nathaniel Hackett was the problem. I do think, again, this is Aaron Rodgers being Aaron Rodgers. Scapegoating Robert Saleh last year speaks to his character, and I'm not here to defend Aaron Rodgers' character at all. I think he's a low-class guy who has, as many people say, diva-like tendencies to prop himself above everybody else, and it's super annoying. And I mean, just this this news of him signing with Pitt now. Why did he take so long to sign with the Steelers? This was such an attention-grabbing move. It speaks to everything I don't like about him. I can't really say enough about how much I don't like Aaron Rodgers, the person. At the same time, this is a smart signing for Pittsburgh. It is. There's just no way around it. They're not really abandoning their identity by getting him. Anybody who knows Arthur Smith's offense knows that you're not really abandoning your run game identity to sign an Aaron Rodgers. And again, Arthur Smith knows how to work with quarterbacks that can be deadly accurate because he had a run first offense with Ryan Tannehill at the Titans. Now, yes, caveat. That helps when you have Derrick Henry as your running back, okay? Not denying that. Clear difference here. But it's not like the Steelers can't develop a really, really, really good run game. So, I think that you're looking at a potentially elite team. We're also the Steelers adding Caleb Johnson out of Iowa. Caleb Johnson was an All-American in 2024. I think he'll be a rookie that immediately starts. We know how good running backs are as rookies a lot of times if they're that elite. So you could see the perfect combination of the veteran quarterback, the rookie running back with the splash talent, and the offensive line that is young but growing and getting better. The combination of them, that makes this a really good team overall. That makes this a really good offense. Pittsburgh made the right move signing Aaron Rodgers. It's going to work out. The biggest thing is you got to stop overreacting to what happened with the 2024 season with the Jets. And the reason is Aaron Rodgers coming back from injuries. I just laid out a ton of reasons, but the biggest is Aaron Rodgers coming back from an injury. It takes you more than a year to come back from an Achilles tear. Aaron Rodgers needed more than a year. He wasn't ready fully to be 100% last year, and he had to adjust to his lack of mobility. He now has a full offseason to work on that wherever he was at. I think Pittsburgh and Arthur Smith will be friendly to that. I mean, Nathaniel Hackett was too, but Pittsburgh will also have a somewhat better offensive line to be friendly to that. Their talent's not as aging as it was. I don't think the Jets needed to sign a bunch of aging talent and then have Aaron Rodgers come in. It should have been done the way Denver handled Peyton Manning, which is sign some aging talent, but really load up on a lot of young guys and guys straight in their prime that Peyton Manning can kind of manage to the Super Bowl. They've kind of gone the opposite with Aaron Rodgers. I think that was a huge mistake with the Jets. But again, leave it to the Jets to screw that up. Now we got to be fair and ask the question, was Zach Wilson sabotaged there? Because Zach Wilson, to be fair to him, didn't play last year, but he is with the Miami Dolphins, and it looks a little more like the Jets are just a bad situation and a bad team and poorly managed. Zach Wilson didn't have that many fewer yards per an attempt than Aaron Rodgers and had more yards per attempt in 2022. Aaron Rodgers was 6.5 or 6.6 last year. Still, long story short, this is a good signing for Pittsburgh. And Mike Tomlin has yet to have a losing season. Mike Tomlin has had slightly above average talent his entire career in Pittsburgh and has had more than above average success I think this could be the year that he has a lot of success. So while I don't like Aaron Rodgers, the person, and while he annoys me, he's a good signing for Pittsburgh, and that clearly shows.